There's a TikTok trend going around where people are kind of just posting a picture like this with a question that says something like, what's one thing you do as a couple that people might judge you for but works perfectly for your relationship? And then they let the comments just flood them with answers. Scandinavian sleep method. Scandinavian sleep method. I can't believe I was initiating the Scandinavian sleeping method without knowing it. And he claimed I did that because I didn't love him. We spend almost all of our time together, Scandinavian sleep method, and I support everything he does instead of tearing him down. We started the Scandinavian sleep method pretty much immediately. For a while, I thought these were bots, but then I looked up what the Scandinavian sleeping method was, and it's just having your own comforter, and that makes sense. Personally, can't do it. I need skin to skin contact. I need to wake up in the middle of the night completely covered in Lee's sweat, panicking because I can't swim and I feel like I'm drowning. She's not gonna like that one. It's a TikTok trend that has many different variations, all the way from tell me one thing your mother did to you as a child that you now realize was awful, to I want to hear about the worst thing you found going through your partner's phone. I don't mean the they were talking to multiple people stories either. Tell me about a time where you found something you wish you never found, something that still haunts you in your sleep. I go into these comment sections without much of an idea what I'm gonna find. It could be anything. And in fact, the first one is actually pretty sweet. My husband died in a car accident, and when I went through his phone, there were tons of pictures of me from behind, doing ordinary things like grocery shopping, walking with the kids. I lost a really good man, but at times I remember these photos. It feels like he's still behind me watching us. I take a lot of pictures of Lee. I was someone who, when I was younger, I didn't really take pictures. I have maybe a couple of pictures of me in high school from Instagram, and then a couple from my graduation, but really none besides that. I have a few pictures of me in college from before being 21, and then at my graduation when I was 21. It took me a really long time to realize that I wanted to have memories of the places I was, the people I was with, and what I was doing, whether or not at the time those are my favorite things going on. I take a lot of pictures now, especially of my partner. She is so wonderful, and I want any excuse to just pull out my phone and take a picture of her. She has a picture of me at the San Diego Zoo next to one of the seal statues that she really, really wanted. I'm a little oblivious when she was like, oh, you should totally take a picture of that. Or don't you want to take a picture of that? You should take a picture of that. I didn't realize she wanted the picture until like the eighth time. All that is to say, I probably don't have to remind you to take pictures of yourself and the people that you love. I think of all the things people said to me when I was young, when they were like, oh, you'll understand when you're older. The one that they got right is that I wish I would have taken more pictures. And even if I don't want them now, I could delete them now, but at least I would have the option. That is one of the few only good comments. And I didn't mean for this video to be about men. I really didn't. I wrote this video idea on my phone a couple weeks ago. I bookmarked this TikTok a month ago maybe, and I didn't go too deep into the comments until yesterday. I did not mean for this video to be negatively skewed towards men. However, when you give people the option to tell you what negative thing they found on someone else's phone, it's going to be a lot of women talking about men. And if I just keep scrolling through my FYP, I'm going to get the emo woman who broke up with her boyfriend because he was looking for other people on Hinge, or the woman who went to go take a shower, set an alarm to go off while she was in the shower so that her boyfriend had to go into their room and turn off the alarm, but she set her home screen to be his Tinder profile. It is definitely not one-sided, but it seems to be very skewed. So that's how we got here. My ex-husband tried cheating on me multiple times, and every girl, all of them curved him so hard. I've honestly never recovered from it because cheating is easy. But girl, was I married to an ugly? That's actually really funny. And it reminds me of all of those posts that are like, oh, me and my wife started an open relationship, but she's going on dates and nobody wants me and now I'm mad about it. How scary of an idea is it to realize that the person you're with is somebody nobody else wants? Oh, found him cheating on me 3 months after proposing, talking to her way more excitedly and sweeter than he ever is to me, texting "Good morning, beautiful" while laying in my bed with me. It's been 2 years and I stayed, and I think about it every day. I wish I left. I've said it before. I think leaving a relationship, especially a long one, is one of the harder things to do. I would like to believe that I'm the person that if I was cheated on or physically hit, I'd be able to get up and go, but I genuinely don't know. I hope to God I never have to find out. But if I do, you will just not see me on the internet for a while. This was immediately followed by a video on my FYP of a woman getting a divorce and saying, I don't understand how my husband could be the nicest, sweetest person to everyone in the world except me. And I've seen so many Twitter posts where people are like, you know those first 2 weeks where you're talking to a man and he's nice to you? What happens after that? Why do they all get that way? I don't get treating your partner worse than you do the general public. I think if you're at least like a mean person and you end up being mean to your partner, yeah, we saw that coming. But the people who are just nice to everyone else except the people in their home are just so awful. And that is the experience that I had with my mom growing up. Is she was so nice to everyone else. And people were like, oh, she slaps you, dude? I don't believe you. And it was just me at like 6 being like, all right. I've never shared, but when I was 11, family trip to Mexico, I asked my dad if I could borrow his laptop. He said yes. While I was using it, I received this message with like an animated penguin. I found it cute, so I clicked it. It was a conversation with a Chinese woman. My dad was sharing his loneliness with her. I closed the laptop, never told anyone. Every time I would see my mom cooking, caring, loving my dad, I felt so angry. I got my heart broken by the first man I ever loved, and it wasn't even about me. I stopped believing in love. He didn't deserve her. He never did. A few years passed. I'm the oldest. My mom asked me if I would be okay if they got a divorce. I cried and hugged her and said, yes, you deserve so much more. She never knew, but I always will. There's something about being lonely, about being afraid, that is so weakening and scary to share with the people that you love. But why is the immediate second option to share it with someone outside of your family, outside of your marriage? Oh, I didn't want to tell you that I was lonely so that you could fix it with me. Instead, I cheated on you. It's such a dumb way to live life. Good for her mom. She deserves better. That goes for all of you. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, non-binary, wherever you land. You deserve better than someone who doesn't treat you well. And it could be your best friend. They may just not be the right person to be your partner. I'm going to read these back to back just to kind of show the duality of man here. My late husband, he passed away at 33. When I looked through his phone, it was photos of me and the kids. His messages were all to me and the kids. It was one of the moments I realized I had someone real. This man traveled for work and always called home every day, to the point of teasing from coworkers. The worst thing I found, a picture of me at 5 a.m., still asleep with bedhead. God, I miss that man. Never settle people. Immediately followed by, she won't make it through her cancer treatments. Just be patient. To his mistress in month 4 of my cancer treatments. The good ones are not in any way outweighing the bad ones. The good ones are, he didn't cheat on me. And the bad ones are, she's not going to make it through her chemo treatments. Just wait. I only found hundreds and hundreds of photos of garage door manufacturing equipment. It solidified he's just so boring and nice. Retweet. It must suck to be one of these people. I wouldn't want to know. Like at this point, if I was in one of these relationships, I wouldn't want to know. I want to die first. I don't want to be the person that goes to their phone and realizes that they're talking to 50 different women. I don't want to be one of the people that's like, oh, he doesn't even have any dating apps. And then I get on their phone, get on Instagram, go through their DMs, and it's just him hearting every woman's selfie. Like, this video is not supposed to be about men specifically, but it just happened, right? Like, these are the same men that are like, oh, you can't trust women, bro. Oh, women are cheating, bro. Are you just like in some sick way trying to get ahead of it? Oh, they're going to cheat on you, so you might as well cheat on them first. I'm all about God and family, and so you want to have multiples of each, I guess. There's one here about a pregnant woman that I'm not going to read out loud. I'll summarize it. He got another woman pregnant while I was in surgery post miscarriage. It's probably the easiest way for me to say that. I'll link the TikTok down below if you want to go find it. It's not that far of a scroll. I found the notes app with every restaurant, coffee shop that we frequent and what my exact order, I'm autistic, is at each place, so he'll get it right every time without having to ask me, and that pretty much sums up my husband of 18 years. Yeah, that's great. I also have Lee notes. I can't show them. Take pictures of your partner, take notes, especially if you're someone who's not going to be able to remember things. I'm a type 1 diabetic. Found my sensor app on my husband's phone. He set my lows to lower than I have them set for, and my highs to lower than my highs. He knows when I'm dropping or going high before I do. I think of this often because not even my own father cared for my condition as much as my man does. Great. That's exactly what we want to see. I'm glad that there are like people who are in good relationships. Our oldest child had a rare cancer but beat it. I found text from my ex to his mother saying he wished that she didn't beat it so he could be free. His mother's response was that would have been for the best. There was a Twitter post going around a couple of weeks ago, and it was a bunch of conservative men being like, I'm a good father. I would unalive 200 strangers to save my son. I would burn down countries for my child. But these are the same people who wouldn't take them to their doctor's appointments without complaining, and definitely don't make their doctor's appointments. These are people who don't know their kids' teachers' names. These are people who have mothers like this, which is wild. If anyone anyone in my family, if my sister was talking about her kids like this, that would not be someone I want in my life. She doesn't have kids. She also does not want children, which is, just a product of how we were raised. There's another one on here that I don't want to read verbatim. It's essentially the woman has her husband's phone and goes through it, finds a note in his notes app about him wanting to take his own life, and then she ends up stopping him. Immediately followed by him having an affair with my mother. I would have to move several states away and never talk to either one of them again. Imagine the amount of time that she spent with her partner before she knew that he was sleeping with her mom. They get into like a little play argument, and she goes, "Yeah, you're a loser, dude." And he goes, "Yeah, whatever, dude, I f***ed your mom." And the whole time he was serious. Football season starts. He sees Justin Fields get under center. He's a Jets fan. All the worst people are. He sees Justin Fields get under center. His hands right like underneath the center's butt. He looks over at his wife and he goes, "Me and your mom." And he's not joking. He's not joking. He's not joking. That hurt my feelings. And then this is as far as I got reading before I decided to make a video on this. I need everyone to pay close attention about how damn this whole comment section is women telling their horror stories, not men. Found where he admitted to a friend he hid something in my car and was going to call an anonymous tip the next day. I found the bag, tossed it out the window while I was driving to work, and 7 minutes later had 5 cop cars on me. Like, that's just a lie. Him messaging a girl beautiful 5 minutes after I gave birth to his daughter when I was being prepped for surgery and he was taking a breather. And I guarantee you, he's going to have no idea why you want to separate. Him messaging a 17, 18-year-old in our 30s, I called the cops and her mother. Good. I realized in the cropping, I left the top of the next message, which says, "I found a picture he took of him tucking his hot dog." And I'm not going to provide context or the rest of that. I'm just going to let you guys sit there with the idea of this man tucking his hot dog, presumably into his own buns. Toasted? We'll never know. Yeah, there's no reason for a 30-year-old in or out of a relationship to be messaging a 17 or 18-year-old. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. That's just weird. That's just weird. This was really funny. He Googled the difference between your and your and spelled just like that. Hold on. Is this on mobile? Because if this is on mobile, I get it. You should know the difference between a possessive your and you are. But spelling mistakes on mobile don't count, okay? Google and Safari do not have my back like that. He was talking to a 16-year-old. He was 24. I wanted to throw up. When I confronted him first, he said 16 is the legal age of consent. I had my stuff packed. Okay, so not only is he cheating, but he's a predator. There's the financial audit dude, Caleb Hammer, had that whole video come out about him where he was 23, 24, talking to 16-year-old boys. And in his group chat, when he got called out for it, he said 16 is the legal age of consent in Michigan. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter if 16 or 17 is legal. You are old enough to know better, and you are old enough that you are a predator. Don't do that. How hard is that? Also, how are you attracted to a 16-year-old as a 24-year-old? They're 16. They're children. They look like children because they are. My ex told another girl he wished he took her to Santorini instead of me. While we were still in Santorini, I paid for the flights. Which is exactly like the woman who bought Seahawks tickets and then flights to go see the game, and then told a man that she wanted to go with that she won the tickets. And she was like, "Oh, do you want them?" And he was like, "Yeah. Can I bring someone else?" Grindr, he was on Grindr. We were married. I never took that lightly. Clearly he did. Yeah, the Republican National Convention crashed Grindr for a reason. Maybe don't cheat on your spouse, though. I have been scrolling for a minute trying to find like a really nice one to end on. It's not going well. He took pictures of me naked while I was asleep in my own bed in my own home, shared them with 11 men on the internet. He cheated. I found out 1 month shy of us being together for 20 years. Him telling his work friend he wished I had died when I lost our baby because it would have been easier than him telling me he wanted to leave. He texted his crazy abusive ex saying he wished he had a baby with her instead of me. My daughter was a newborn at the time. Is there a single man on here? Like, I promise you I'm looking for a good one. He didn't remember his ex's number. I saw on his phone that he had attempted over 100 different number combinations trying to reach the correct number. Every text had a different message in it of him confessing his love for her. I am so serious when I say this. I started dating when I was 16. From 16 to when Lee and I started dating, I had been single for a total amount of about a year. There was a little over a year of my life where I was single, but I would rather be single and alone and to have days where I feel unwanted and unloved than to be in a relationship like this. What is so wrong with you that you would hold on to someone while looking for someone else or trying to get back together with your ex rather than just letting them go? I don't get it. I hope to God I never come close to understanding that. I promise I do. I'm looking for a good one to end on. As a single woman actively trying to date, this thread will haunt me forever. I'm so sorry. I want to say that there's like good people out there, but I haven't found them. That includes me. Like, I have my own problems. I'm nowhere near anywhere this bad. My problems are that I have no attention span and I forget to eat for dates sometimes. If I get on TikTok, I won't post a video for 3 weeks. Sorry. My last video was about Charlie Kirk, like a week before anything happened. The amount of texts that I got from people that I haven't talked to in a long time, there are a couple of them on here that I don't want to read out loud. And you should know that means they're pretty bad, including this one, if you want to pause to read. Immediately followed by things like his OfferUp account. He had our child's toys, including things I bought for Easter that hadn't happened yet. He bought none of it. That was my final straw, stealing from our 3-year-old. I'm pretty sure me and Lee are getting married. Pretty sure. The last relationship I'll ever be in is the relationship I'm in now. It is the most wonderful way I've ever been loved, and I will do anything to hold on to it. That being said, if something happened, if she lost her job and she had no money and she needed help, I wouldn't think about it. I would be like, yeah, cool. If the same thing happened to me, I'm sure she would also help. Why is your first thought when you need money or want money, it doesn't even say that they're broke, I'm going to sell my child's toys instead of talk to my wife about it? I don't get it. Reading these comments cures any ounce of loneliness I feel for a man. Yeah, sorry about that. This one hurts. Pictures of all the poems I had written. Ones about him and I, about grief, about my trauma, all of them. He sent them to not only another woman, dedicating them to her, saying she's inspiring him in many ways, but to his publisher saying he wrote them about her, for her, because of her, the love of his life. Just to cheat, bro. Don't take the love I had for you and give it to someone else. There is no good way to take that. My husband has nothing but pictures of sunrises and screenshots of love quotes that he saves to send me. Poor fella can't crop if his life depended on it. But he randomly sends me quotes or love notes about soulmates when he's at work, and I'm going to end it there because they don't get better. For the 3rd time, because all I do is repeat myself, this was not supposed to be about men. This was supposed to be about going through your partner's phone. I guess it just so happened that they all ended up being men. I was looking for a while to find one from a man because it is going to happen the other way around. I don't have that experience. I've never gone through a partner's phone for any reason. It's not really something I'm interested in. And I don't think anyone since my first college girlfriend has gone through my phone. When I was 19, my girlfriend at the time asked if she could go through my pictures. And I mean, it's just screenshots. Mostly of like this guy. There's a lot of pictures of my current girlfriend, the love of my life, the Lady Goomba from Mario Odyssey. Don't tell Lee that. There's a lot of pictures of Toast. Here's 18-year-old me making Call of Duty videos without facial hair and Mega Halucha. That's pretty much it. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all for spending time with me. This is my favorite thing to do, and I am reminded of that every time I do it. I am so glad to be able to do this for a living, and I'm so happy that there are people who enjoy me and who I enjoy. That being said, I'm hoping to get a couple of videos out before I fly out. I'm flying out on Saturday. I will be at Lee's house for a solid 2 months, and then I'm spending a week in Texas. So this is a question for the people who made it this far, because I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I imagine not too many people are going to make it to the end. If there's anything you would like to see me and Lee talk about, let me know. I don't know what kind of videos she and I should make together, if they should be silly, goofy, or serious. The only video that we have together that is commentary is a Patreon video we did on 90 Day Fiancé, but she doesn't watch a lot of TV, so she was just like sitting there learning about everyone. But that's it. I'm going to call it there. This is so fun, and I'm so lucky, and I'm so grateful for all of you. Even the one person who just like leaves comments that are like 1, 2, 3. What's that about? Probably a good time to say goodbye to Toast, who's been directly behind me this whole time. I was working on a video early last week that had a lot to do with someone who was heavily influenced by someone else. And the day that video was going to come out, the person that had influenced them a lot had their final day. And so, regardless of how I feel about people, because again, I do have very strong opinions and I don't hide any of them, it would have been awful timing to drop that video. So I decided to let that one go for a little while. And then I checked the Twitter feed of the guy who I was going to make the video on, and it got significantly worse. So watch out for that soon. That's it. I'm going to call it there. Thank you for spending time with me. This is my favorite thing. This is, again, my favorite thing to do. You're my favorite people to do it with. I will let you go. Sorry that I never put background music on. I don't know how to do it. It just never sounds right. I don't get it. Some people are really good at putting videos together. I'm just a yapper. All right, get out of here. Por Canelo. No, I know I'm Mexican, but that was the first Canelo fight I've ever seen. All right, goodbye.